Hi everyone, my name's Kirk. I play in this band called Metallica, and you're listening or watching Guitar Part.
Hello readers of Bass Part. I'm your host, Robert Trujillo, and it's great speaking with you.
La grande place d'Arras avait des allures de lendemain de fête après le passage de Metallica le 14 août dernier. C'est là que nous avons retrouvé Kirk Hammett et Robert Trujillo, histoire de faire le point sur Death Magnetic, un nouvel album qui marque un retour aux années 80 et au solo.
Well, it really made a difference because it made us sound like a band again. You know, we didn't so much sound like a band when Bob Rock was playing bass, because he was still Bob Rock, the record producer, and not Bob Rock, you know, bass player for Metallica. And now it's different now because now we have Trujillo, bass player of Metallica, and he was there contributing, you know, all these great musical ideas and just being there with his energy, his real positive energy. It made a big difference, and a lot of the riffs that he came up with were pretty progressive sounding, you know, more notey and you know, more difficult to play than your average, you know, heavy metal riff, which was a good contrast to, you know, the way James and I write, which is, you know, just write whatever feels good or whatever sounds good, whereas Rob's stuff had a distinct progressiveness to it, and it worked out really well, really well, and you know, his actual bass sound is really great too. And Justice for All, you can hardly hear the bass at all. This time around, bass is pushed up because he's playing really well. I mean, his fills, the improvised stuff he does, all sounds great. He's a very tasteful player.
I was in Tahiti, and I got a phone. I checked my voicemail from the island, small island off of Tahiti called Moorea, and in the background was Lars, and Kirk was speaking. Hey Rob, we're auditioning bass players, and Lars is in the background going, join our band, come join Metallica. They're probably drinking or something because it sounded like they were partying. So I only had really a day or two to prepare anything, so I just did the best I could. I chose a couple songs to concentrate on and then roughed out a couple other ones. It was a 2-day audition. The first day was just sitting around, hanging out with the guys as they were writing and recording their record that day. Bob Rock was playing bass. And the second day, and later that night, Lars says, let's go get a beer. I thought, oh, okay, you know, I hadn't seen Lars in about 10 years. And we ended up getting really drunk till about 5 in the morning. And I think that was part of my audition, to see if I could drink with Lars, because, you know, you go to bed at 5 or 6, and then I had to wake up at 11. I had to get up at 9 to play at 11. It was difficult. So I think he was testing me on that too.
For the last 5 or 8 years, I would say it's been my goal to kind of bring together the way I used to play, which is more like a you know, heavy metal, rock heavy metal sort of style, which was much more a modal approach. Meld that with my other kind of style, which was a lot bluesier and pentatonic, and kind of like find a middle ground that you know, made me kind of feel good about it. It's not, you know, it's not something that I've been trying to do consciously. I've just tried to like work it into my playing. It's never been like, okay, I'm playing modally and now's the time to go pentatonic and then switch back. I mean, it's never been my my goal to do that. It's been more my goal to just kind of just weave in and out of it naturally, you know, while improvising. And that's what I tried to do on this album, is kind of like, you know, vamp modally and then switch to pentatonic when it felt right, and then go modal again. I've been obsessed with I don't know what it would be, like the 25th, 26th, 27th fret right next to my pickup. You know, when you push down on the string, it frets. I've been obsessed with that for like the last year or so. So you'll hear a lot of it on the album. And I also been obsessed with playing a lot of tremolo bar, and of course I'm always obsessed with my wah pedal. So I mean, you get some of that on this new album as well. But you know, I have to say I was a little nervous about putting down guitar solos because I haven't really put down guitar solos in this millennium yet. Last time I recorded a guitar solo was for No Leaf Clover, or maybe Mission Impossible 2, I can't remember. That was in 1999. And then, but yeah, it was quite an experience because I kind of forgot how it was like recording guitar solos in the studio because I hadn't done it for so long. And so I was a little nervous when it came time to put some stuff down, but after a while it all came back to me. And, you know, I did it, you know, pretty good time, within pretty good time. The title of the album is from a lyric that James sings in one of the songs. In My Apocalypse, at one point he sings "Death Magnetic," and we thought that was just a great catchphrase to use as a title. At one point, this album was going to be called "Songs of Suicide and Forgiveness." Mm-hmm. And we talked about that for a while, and you know, part of the reason why it was called that was because a lot of the songs were about suicide. We wrote like 22 songs, worked on 14 of them. A lot of the songs were about suicide. A lot of the songs were about redemption, and you know, that just kind of became the underlying concept behind the lyrics. When it came time to agree on a title, we dropped Suicide and Forgiveness or Suicide and Redemption because it's kind of been used by a couple other people before in the past. And plus, Death Magnetic is way more metal. The concept musically is just, you know, just trying to make the most metal album that we've made in a long time, using the same sort of attitude and vision that we used in the 80s, and not being afraid to, like, you know, look back and say, you know, that worked in 1986. You know, if you take that attitude and apply it to this piece of music, there's no reason why it won't work now. And we did that a lot. It started off as a huge experiment that was pretty successful. And so now, you know, after using that over the course of the entire album, we've come up with an album that sounds like it, you know, like it could have been the album right after not Master Puppets, but Injustice for All or something.
I feel great because I remember back then seeing Metallica, you know, on stage every night and just going, wow, those guys are sitting on top of the world. And when I was in Suicidal, when Metallica would leave the venue, we would eat their dinner, finish their dinner. We'd go, you know, their wardrobe crew people would let us go in and finish their food and stuff because we had no food after. We couldn't afford it, so we'd go and finish Metallica's, you know, fresh fish or steak and you know, chicken cordon bleu, whatever they had going. We'd be good. They left. Let's eat. So yeah, it's great to be back in Metallica. So I don't have to sneak to eat their food, to be sneaky. They can eat their food, you know, as a part of the team. No, but seriously, I mean, it's just, I mean, what can you say? I mean, it's been a natural progression to get here. being from where I was with suicidal tendencies, and then all of a sudden getting in the band Metallica, it's taken a long time to, in a way I feel like I had to earn it, you know? It didn't happen overnight. One thing I can say for myself is my past has been good to me, you know, and my present is still good to me, you know.